Hey y'all, let me get this set up correctly. The camera is a little bit different than it was a minute ago during the test. So give me just a sec to get that all tweaked. Thanks to those early joiners for joining in. I think that's about where we want it. Oh, wait a minute. Right about there. Alrighty. Um, what's up, guys? Can you hear me from this microphone? There we go. I am obviously doing a different view and different setup here, so forgive me for taking just a bit of time. Okay, so as long as you can hear it from okay, because sometimes when I plug this microphone in, the phone's quirky. Okay, and this is cool. I'm able to actually respond to comments, and I'm actually going to try uh, another thing in a minute. And I don't really have anything planned in the shop, so this is more of just a let's sit down and chat video. We can chat about whatever y'all want to chat about. And we've got signs up, so obviously if somebody comes in, we'll just have to be very cautious when they're paying, and there are signs up saying you're live. So let me get settled in here for just a sec. I meant to get up here just a bit earlier to start this, because I knew I wanted to do a different camera angle, because while that last camera angle was great for the whole shop, I really didn't spend any time except for in that area, so I could have focused on that. But you know, we're learning live shop feeds. Probably learn a valuable lesson when somebody comes in. I don't want to be on camera. You're not. It says you're not on camera. Just don't say anything. All right, so looks good in the background according to my screen anyway. Hey, King Street and LPL, like picking Patrolman, and Rune, of course, who saw it on Twitter. King Street, I did announce it on Twitter this time. Yes, I'm learning. I probably need to share this link, don't I? So let me go here. And I've actually was going to do this. I thought about this last time because I kept looking, instead of looking at the camera, I kept looking at my other phone for the comments. So that's one reason I have my laptop set up here, so that I can focus better instead of peeking at the phone every 2 or 3 minutes. But I am going to try something else here for a second. Hey, Paul. Hey, Pete. And again, forgive me for playing around, but again, this is the first time I've integrated my laptop into this part of it. For those of you who are new to the channel or did not join us last time. So I had thought about doing a text-to-speech comment so that if I was doing something back there, I wouldn't have to keep coming in and looking at the comments. Like I said earlier, though, I'm going to, this is weird, just delayed just a bit, but I was going to try to do a text-to-speech for comments, so if I was working on another future live video, I could just hear the comments. But the Cortana, let's turn it on and kind of be careful here. Let's see what happens. It's actually on, it's just muted right now, so let's see.
Volume mute, tooltip, volume level 48.
Okay, there we go. I got the chat in the blocks. Don't know if it's gonna read the comments by itself. No, it doesn't seem to be doing that. It's a nice idea, because I could give y'all a goofy voice. Actually, on this Windows computer, Cortana only has like normal voices. I'm sure I'd have to hack up something or other to make a cartoon voice. All right, so I hope everybody has had a good weekend so far. Thanks for joining in. We can really just talk about anything y'all want to talk about, because I do have a couple of projects that I've got to get to, but I'm not really going to delve off into it in this, because they're going to be independent videos focused closer on. It's too hard to do a live video and actually do work, as I was just talking about, because I wanted to respond to the comments. And Ian, hey. So what's been going on with y'all? Any news? Like I talked about in my Happy Friday video, it is very cold up in the northern part of the U.S. All my northern brethren are freezing their tails off, but here the sun is just coming out. Actually, it's been behind some clouds this morning, and I could almost take this off. I could almost go short sleeve. This is a little warmer already. I hate to say it, but hey, Lock Guy, what's up? Yeah, it's afternoon for some people, especially on the East Coast. And overseas, this is actually kind of a good time, because some of my overseas friends have said it's like 5 or 6 o'clock their time. So if they're just getting off at the end of the day, I guess this works out pretty good. But some of those, hey Chuck, upstate New York. Oh yeah, you're cold. Newell Locksmith Company. Yeah, you're cold. I know you guys are freezing. It's crazy. You know, it gets really, really hot here in the summertime. I will say that. It's like the most oppressive heat in the nation for the most part. But yeah, freezing your tail off, this is not my thing. I'm not fond. I like snow. We never would get, like last year, year before last, or year before, we got like 10 inches, like 6 to 10 inches. And that was just crazy for here, but it melted like the next day. So snow in the UK too. This country has come to a standstill. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And the crazy thing is the other day we had an ice when that kind of hit y'all. It was kind of floating down to us, and it was. We had warnings about ice, and like they canceled school, and it was fine. I mean, it was a beautiful day. And they say it's because the buses in the early morning, they don't want the buses full of kids. So that's understandable to a degree, but it is overly ridiculous for a lot of guys up north. They're like, what? You know, so how long have I been open? Since this morning, about 8:45. No, I know what you meant. Pete asked, how long I've been open in business? It's been a locksmith for 38 years in this location. I'm the third owner, and I've been here 23, and I've been doing lock stuff related. It was in the hardware business in the beginning, but I've been doing lock stuff. I keep forgetting to look at the camera up there for coming up on 26-ish about, because I did a lot of it. I was like the only one that knew how to pick locks, rekey locks and stuff at a hardware store in a booming community. So I kind of learned there. So I kind of count that in as my experience, because I really did kind of teach myself. Nobody else taught me. I just grabbed locks and did it. Oh, we're going to be close to the 60s in Ohio. So Brian, hey. So that's about what it is here, 60s. Do y'all have just came out of negative temps? I know it was just weird how that happens, like bam, freezing, and then that's kind of our weather. So just not as ridiculous as up north, but like ours, especially in the morning. At night, of course, it's colder. But once our southern sun comes out, it gets warm enough. Hey, Purple Skull. Negative 23. Hey, Daryl and Carol, how are y'all? They are over in the UK, Cornwall. Thanks for the reminder because I've got a few guys over in the UK. Sometimes I just can't remember which area which is in, but yes, I do know. Good morning, Daryl and Carol, of course, his wife. They are a locksmith over there. 24 degrees. Ohio weather, yeah. It's probably a running joke in Ohio too, how y'all have a funky weather patterns, and that's how it is here. But we get both after effects of hurricanes because we're pretty close. As a crow flies, we're like 200 miles from the shore, so it's we do get after effects and tornadoes spin up a lot here. So yeah, crazy weather. Global warming, people. It's global warming. Stop using hairspray. I blame it. I joke with Kim because she was one of those big hair chicks from the the 80s when they used the hairspray. They're the ones that is causing this now. Dang straight. All them big haired people from the 80s spraying their what I can't remember the cheap hairspray they used. Okay. Yeah. Las Vegas. Hey, David from Las Vegas. That's a cool area to be in. Never been. I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas to experience. I don't think I'd like living there. Honestly, a little too hectic. But I'm not a real big crowds and people. So I don't like going there. We have like Mardi Gras. I was talking about in the King Cake video. We haven't been to Mardi Gras in years. I don't like going to Mardi Gras overly much. So, we have some short customers coming in. Ah. They were reading our sign that says live recording. Aquanet, that's it. You got it. Aquanet is to blame for global warming nowadays. Brian nailed that one. Brian, did you use Aquanet in the 80s? Daryl, we have snow and sub-zero temperatures in the UK. Yeah, is that? I don't think that's normal, overly normal for the UK. I don't know, but who am I supporting this Super Bowl review to? I'm not a big sports person, so probably that team that kicks the ball. But good luck to both teams. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Still getting used to that. I can usually edit this out, so yeah. I never have been a sports guy. We only, like on a local level, do Ole Miss because our oldest graduated from there. So, and actually, my mother went to Ole Miss. That's college, but really, that's the only thing we kind of keep up with, just because they've been around the family forever. Between my mom, our oldest, and going up there visiting, and I actually do a lot of work. I hadn't done it in a while, but when she was up there, I used it as a convenient crash pad when I had to go up there to do lock work. It's about it's an hour and a half away from us, and it's a college campus, a big college campus. But aside from that, we don't really keep up with any sports. I'm not a big sports person. Never have been. Keep some business home. Take the candy bags. Yeah. Thinking about yeah. I really need to be working. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I want to do this too. So I've got to do some pen kit refills. Just a regular old locksmith grind. Luckily, we're pretty clear. It's been kind of slow this morning. I don't know why. Some days it's like really busy. Like last Saturday when I was working on the key machine, which is running fine still, by the way. That's running fine still. And I've got all these lights off. If I turn them on, it will really screw the camera up. So if I have to come in, I will note. If somebody does come in and make a key, I'll turn one of these lights on to crank the key machines up. But it's doing well. We were fairly busy, and I had to keep cutting the video. And then the Padlock Dominoes weekend, if you hadn't seen that, it'll be up in, it's on my channel. But that was kind of a crazy busy Saturday. So it's weird. Some Saturdays are crazy busy. Some afternoons are crazy busy. And we always get a GM Circle Plus key. Never, ever fails that we get somebody coming in, and 60% of the time it's a broken GM Circle Plus key. It's just a Saturday thing. I don't know. And we are the only locksmith here in Jackson that's open on Saturdays with a shop. There are only 3 or 4 shops, 3 like retail, and they're all pretty close to me in this downtown area. There were more, but one of them got bought out by a big hotel and had to close down. He was downtown, and he was like the locksmith downtown. Just for point of reference, like, here's Jackson. We're right kind of in the middle. Downtown is just south of us by about 4 or 5 miles, and there was a locksmith down there, and I think he a long time ago was open on Saturdays. So we get a fair amount of business, especially in the afternoon when people are needing keys or locks rekeyed or weird stuff like that. Alrighty, let me catch up on these comments here. Typing on my phone. Wow, hey Ramundo, do you have any other key machines in your shop other than what's on the bench? Well, yeah, I've got a bunch in the back that are. I've got like, let's see, for GM, a clipper. It's a key machine. Several that are could be put in commission that are older. An old hardware store one that's probably fine, but I mean they're all just kind of cheap key machines. Several motors and other clippers and various devices, but no, that's about it. The back of it is basically just storage and the office for the boring work. Daryl Carroll said to tell Kim she will send you chocolate now. It's cold, so you'll be okay. Cool. So Daryl and Carol are going to send us some more chocolate. Last time they sent us chocolate, it was in the dead heat of summertime, and like we joked about, some just chocolate had melted. So yeah, that's cool, and it's probably cold enough. Sorry, the lockpicking patrolman, the only locksmith in my county, doesn't have a storefront and doesn't usually go out on Saturdays. It's getting to be pretty common because we do get a lot of phone calls too. And I don't go out on Saturdays unless it's one of my regular customers. Sorry, hold on. But we do, if I have somebody that can like delay it until like 4 o'clock when I'm leaving, I can go there on the way home. I try to do that. Or obviously if I have a commercial client that has a real emergency, then so be it. I have to close down and go do it and put a "be right back" whatever time sign on the door, because Kim doesn't work on Saturdays. A lot of talking can really hurt the throat. So go back up here. Oh, I'm losing track of comments. Pete asked, what's the average service call in my area? And it varies from about 40 to 60. We're 60 for most areas of Jackson. We do offer a discounted service for unlocking cars in our immediate business area. That's usually $35-ish, depending on the vehicle, but that's only in a few square blocks here during normal hours. And our rate is 60 for service in Jackson Metro. If we have to go further out, it's 75 or 90 or 150. I usually try to stay within about a 40-ish mile square radius. Okay, where are we? No, I don't really sell any of my stuff. Sorry. Hey, Pete. Do you do safe work? Change combos, but I don't drill. I don't do the drilling. Is there any king cake left? I'm glad you asked that. I brought a slice today. Oh, yes. When I got up this morning, I don't eat. Usually, I never eat breakfast unless it's for lunch or dinner. That's the only time Kim and I eat breakfast. And I most of the time don't eat lunch. We just drink coffee, and I usually have the huge dinner. And when I get up in the morning, the last thing, especially on a Saturday when I'm trying to get to work and have things on my mind, the last thing I want to think about is bringing something back. We had taken the king cake home, but I had the presence of mind today to be like, hey, king cake. So I cut a slice and brought it with me. Yes, I brought a slice of king cake. Oh, and there is about half of a king cake left. It is so filling. Did you locate the handle for the old Yale machine? The video, if you haven't seen my hand crank video, okay, we have decided that there is a groove cut in the big wheel for a belt of some kind. There was no, I hadn't found a handle yet. I don't recall ever seeing a handle shaped like that, like if it got separated from its host. But I feel like I can make one. And yes, there is a groove cut in the wheel. And you know, looking back on the video, it was a stupid video now because that's obviously had been adapted from a hand crank machine. Somebody said it on Reddit. Yes, it's adapted for a wheel, but it is the machine that used to be hand crank. And I think, pretty sure that's where a handle went. Because I mean, I don't see any other reason why, especially on a belt fed machine, why you'd have a projection coming off of it like that. So maybe it was the either or. You could like disengage the belt if you wanted to go hand. I don't know. It must be early 19, maybe 15 or 20. I don't know. So the DeWalt, yeah. For those of you who have only watched the video, I'd mentioned in the video that I did. That was my third key, and did I put it in the video where I hooked the DeWalt up to? Yeah, the DeWalt. That was funny. Hard to manage though. I threw it down. I got it out of the way. I don't have time to mess with it. I would love to set it up as a display up front somewhere, but we have issues with leaking in the front window because we have a flat roof and flat roofs suck. So I can't really do anything special aside. We've been thinking about doing like a potting garden, like a garden up front because if it leaks right there, it only makes sense, right? But we can't figure out a real easy way to do that. I've joked with a few people about building one of those. Hey, Night Owl, how's it going? Pete Woodfine. Do we have? I think we got two Pete's going on here. Yeah, we do have two Pete's. So Pete Woodfine, Pete Yentzer. Looks amazing. It looks amazing. I'm assuming you mean the king cake. If you mean me, you know, thanks. But never heard of king cake in the UK, and that's why I did that video because on Twitter, it's a lot of northern people. I mean, it's just a regional thing, so I figured I'd share it with you. I didn't mean to make y'all hungry. I'm sure everybody has their own version of that because basically it's just bread, cream cheese, and a flavoring. So it's just like a cream cheese coffee cake, just with a different style, like a flakier bread. So I'm sure many areas have that, but the frosting with the sprinkles and the beads, that makes it. Yep, Chef Mel, hey. Cold City of Chicago, yeah, I know you're up north. I didn't hear king cake and then Night Owl says he didn't hear king cake until a friend from New Orleans introduced me to it. Yeah, it's huge in New Orleans, but all right. I've seen that. Okay, so Purple Soul says I've seen the two Framo machines you have and wondered, do they work? Yes, all the machines on the bench work. If they did not work, they would not be on the bench, and they all have specific purposes. I don't think we have them. Yeah, not really. I imagine you can't get king cake anywhere outside of the immediate southeast area. Like even in Tennessee, I've got friends in Tennessee that like have to make special orders from New Orleans or places like that. And New Orleans does have places that mail out king cakes probably for much cheaper. Again, they are fairly expensive anywhere you're at, so $30 for a cake is nothing to sneeze at, especially just for Kim and I. Normally we wouldn't do that, but the Jeff Good in our video, he's a great customer and friend, and we would definitely, we eat at his. He actually owns 3 restaurants, Salamuki's, a couple of blocks down here. It's a pizza place for kids. I got ice cream. They also have a bar, so it's like kids, and then you can go drink and leave your kids to go fiddle with their toys and stuff in there. No TVs, and then they've got a high-end restaurant also that was their original restaurant, and it's over in Highland Village, and it's all kind of close by. So he's a big community supporter, so I figured I'd go get a king cake, even though we don't really eat king cake over much, but it's very good. It's so good. Let's see. All right, so how are we doing on everything here? I might as well turn off this Cortana.
Narrator settings window. To navigate the options in this dialog, exiting narrator.
There we go. Let's turn him off. The narration thing was a good idea, but doesn't pan out. It doesn't pan out. And I think I got all of the comments so far, so let me think about what I want to talk about. Oh, you know, I meant to, I kind of ran out of time before I started this live video. And I was going to kind of like open several of the videos that I have had comments on that is easier for me to talk to the camera instead of typing out replies. So since we really don't have much else to do, I can ponder that for just a sec. Maybe I can just talk about it. Some of the most recent being, and I have to go back over the videos to see the names, and I'd rather look at the camera. So one of them was, somebody's pulling in a parking spot out there. One of them was a distributor video, just talk about national distributors. So yes, I mainly use IDN and Flake, or IDN Acme. There are a bunch of IDN branches. IDN Armstrong, IDN, a few others. Oh, what? How did I get off of this? Why am I on a different screen? Okay. Several IDNs. Let me go back down to the comments here. And HL Flake are our two biggest ones that we order most of our stuff. So every so often we will have to get stuff from, what's the name of that one? It's been years, but the Locksmith store. But they're like 3-day shipping for us, so we don't usually. Oh, but Allied. Allied's a good one, especially for automotive. They are way more. It really depends on what you need, as far as which distributor you need. If you are a residential or a commercial locksmith, ID and Acme is good because they seem to have more hardware options. Not more hardware options. Let me retract that. They're a good one because they do have a decent hardware selection, and they are also good because they have so many branches that you are most likely close by one, which means you'll get shipping the next day. So that's the number one reason why they are important, is the ship time. And that is also kind of a downfall because they have so many locations. Their stock has to be smaller in certain locations. So sometimes when we call the one closest to us, which is New Orleans, and it's a Acme branch, they don't have the items and it has to ship from Houston, which is 2-day shipping. And of course, Flake is in Houston and Memphis now that they have McDonald Dash. Memphis puts it 1 day from us. Houston is 2-day shipping. Of course, HL Flake has a much larger variety, especially with like these color keys. Acme doesn't carry any of those, I think, except for maybe the Ilco personality keys. But there's a much larger selection of those from HL Flake. And they've got a pretty large selection of automotive, and Allied as well is mainly what I go to for specific automotive. But those are the three that I use as far as distributors. Let me catch up on comments here. Had the people that park in our customer spot pay for the next customer's key? No, it's not worth it because they disappear for an hour. Of course, it's slow outside today, but if it wasn't, whatever. Can you sell things to other locksmiths like me? Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't really do that. This channel kind of came about as, if you haven't seen some of the videos where I talk about that, this channel was more in the beginning for the customer side, or where I could do a video and of like a mortise lock, and that was a lot of my earlier videos, so that I could say, okay, is this the part you need? And then of course now it is what it is. We do have local, we do not sell key blanks or anything like that to local locksmiths. We're not really set up to do that. We do have an eBay store where we sell stuff, mainly like mailbox locks and stuff, to the general public, but we don't really directly sell stuff. We just do collect cylinders and have giveaways every so often, but that's usually just scrap cylinders and stuff. And no, we don't really act as a middle distributor type thing, because it is fairly easy to get accounts set up, because a lot of these companies will set up an account, you know, for anybody. So really there's no point having a middleman there. And there are certain locksmith distributors, retract that, anybody distributors that sell locksmith stuff, like US Lock when they got bought out by Home Depot. Night Owl asks, is there a good distributor for the old-fashioned bit barrel blanks? No. I have, these are like freaking hen's teeth. Flake has these in somewhat limited quantities. Quantities. Nothing near. Oh great! I pulled the wrong ones off. Nothing near what I would like to have. I've got a whole list of those out of the Ilco book. If you're flipping through the Ilco book, which is right here, so I'll just grab it. Number one, the keys that are in the book. So like these, and this is kind of where the decorative keys start. I know you probably can't see that unless I hold it real still, but Ilco book shows all these different designs, and there are only like 4 or 5, but I've tried getting like some of the fancier heads, or the short and long, and you just have to get on the Flake website and type in before you place an order otherwise, because I've had a list of like 10, and it's like, no, we don't have those, no, we don't have those. But I get what I can get. I try to keep 2 of each diameter. There's the big diameter and the small diameter, and I try to keep at least two different designs of each one. So there you go. Daryl says, I do all locksmithing, so I've had to buy about $30,000 worth of key machines. I have to keep up with the Autotech. Yes, our next major purchase is a new Sidewinder machine, our laser cut key machine, because I had one of those back when Mercedes was popular. The old Mercedes and Volvos used Sidewinders, and they kind of got less popular, and then all of a sudden they're back. And we sold that machine. It was an old machine, not really overly accurate in my opinion, and I hated using it. It was a Ilco, I want to say like a KD55, which is this huge monster machine, and we need to get one. The only reason I want one is for Honda keys. And we've got the RW4, but also for Honda keys, I'd have to have a different programmer as well. So, yes, always wanting more money, aren't they? There are 2 or 3 IDNs on Ohio. Brian says there are 2 or 3 IDNs in Ohio. Can't think of their names. One's close to Cincinnati. Yeah, the Acme branches and the Hoffman branches and the Armstrong branches don't really communicate with each other a whole lot. Understandable. I've never understood how that works, but they're all under the IDN network branch. It's time for coffee. Decline. I know. Saturday mornings across the street, which they've already gone by now, between 9 and 11, they have a Saturday morning club that goes over there, and there's kids and people packed. I bring my own coffee for Saturday mornings, but as soon as this live broadcast is over, yes, it's time for coffee. Okay, Paul, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Good seeing you. I hope you're still here, but snow's not moving itself. I love the videos. This has been an interesting format. Thanks for sharing. Stay warm, Paul. Don't freeze outside. That's crazy. Mortise blanks, just let me know. Yes, Daryl, I actually do get a lot of questions and orders from people on YouTube, from customers who send me all sorts of crazy stuff. I've got 2 crazy things over here, and sometimes I need to source, but yes, I've got your email. I've definitely, if I ever need a certain thing, I will touch base with you. Somebody had sent me a picture once via YouTube through our email, asking about what was an obvious one of overseas blanks. And I was like, well, can't, you're not going to find it here in the U.S., but I can touch base with people, but it would cost money. And hopefully one day I will be able to sell that type of thing and get it to you, so one of you guys overseas could make some money making me some keys, and then we can make our own money on top of that. So yes, that I did that with oh, what was that key? Oh man, I can't remember it, but I did have a obviously European lock. They brought in a door, and it was one of our good customers, and it had, I can't even remember what kind of key it was, but it was something that I could only get overseas. So we mailed it over there, brought it back. It ended up breaking down to about $80 a key. They made money. We made a little bit of money for the transaction, but yeah, hopefully one day I'll run across that. But I've got you. I got your number. CLK Supplies. Okay, let's go back. Have I ever heard of CLK? Yes, I've heard of them, and I may have gone on their website a handful of times. We just ordered a Best thing. I can't remember who that was from, but they were the only ones who had an original Best capping tool, because my block is an original hand, tapping block, and I think that's who we got that from. And they were the only people in the U.S. that had that. Those messed up blanks are neat and annoying at the same time. Says Techno Squatch Films. Messed up blanks. Messed up blanks. Those? Talking about the ones that are already cut. I mean, because some of them are messed up. Like this one was a factory defect, and these things are expensive. Pisses me off when I get a factory defect. Bart, hey Jay. Bart, you said yesterday that you were at Saturday, and I don't believe that. You were on Friday yesterday. Daryl, again, I have a used Sidewinder machine for copying. I sent to you. It's not a coding machine. No, that's not necessary. That's what the RW4 was initially for. But no, that's something we can get. Thank you for the offer, though. Because I'm gonna have to, the way we're gonna have to save up for kind of one of the real deal ones, because Kim is in the shop more than I am, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for her, which means we'll have to get one of those fancy machines. Of course, I don't know. I may start off with a hand manual machine and work my way up like we did with the RW4, but the unmilled, the messed up blanks are neat. Yeah, the messed up blanks from Happy Friday, that's, we get them every so often. When you dump out 250 counts of keys, you get the little ball bearing things. I don't know if they're in here. I hadn't seen any in a while. They must have gotten better with their sorting, because I hadn't seen any of the little beads that they use, the stainless steel beads to tumble with them. They used to be in there a lot. You could find 3 or 4 back 10 years ago, but now not so much. I guess they've gotten protective with their balls. Okay, I'm a mad damer. Do you guys get a lot of requests for high security key systems, Abloy, Bilock, etc.? We do ASA and Scorpion, or CX5. I still call it Scorpion because that's when we joined in with them. And it is directly through somebody that deals directly through. It's kind of a custom keyway, so it's protected by our vendor, who is a vendor through Scorpion. It's not the Scorpion you see in Flake. It is same thing, but it's we've got our own sidebar, and we originally started. We used to do Medico a long time ago. In fact, we have the old Medico slips in there, but mainly we stick with ASA still, even though it's horribly expensive. In fact, there are 2 cylinders right here waiting to go in 2 padlocks that are over there. So there you go. High security. And those are supposed to be picked up Monday. But as far as Abloy and Bilock, I've gotten a couple of Abloy style locks. We got them from, we had a customer that needed puck locks. And one of our vendors, and I can't even remember that vendor's name, but they are kind of a smaller vendor, and they had some puck lock Abloy style locks. So that's really the only time we've messed with those. If I'm going electronic, says Daryl, get a SEC9 machines, $2,500. Yeah, we're probably going to start with the whatever we can, honestly. Okay, thanks Night Owl for the link. Night Owl posted a link. I didn't see that. Night Owl off in here posting links to stuff. Hello from California. Hello, California. I think California is like LOL about everybody else right now. I think the weather's pretty decent over in California. Medico is fairly expensive. All high security. Honestly, all high security is fairly expensive because uh, of every one of them needs its own style of pin kit. You know, the ASA pin kit is not cheap, but Medico has more different ones like the Keymark style or the whatever you call it. Yeah, Medico Keymark. And yeah, they have multiple. I'm not hip to Medico stuff at all. I know it's, you know, pretty predominant here in the U.S., but it's not here in the South. Thanks in much part to me. Presumably, we're more of an ASA area. But I do see a few on some of the restaurants and stuff that are more corporate. I do see not Bilock, but Multi-Lock. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's because there's several distributors that can key up cylinders. I'm pretty sure the people that are using the Multi-Lock and are putting in the Multi-Lock are doing keyed up cylinders. They don't have all that expensive stuff, and I think that's one of the advantages. One of their supposed advantages to Multi-Lock is they don't have to worry about it. And I have noticed, I don't know if anybody here uses Multi-Lock, but I have noticed overall it is definitely a scammer's lock because obviously they can order keyed up cylinders. They don't have to be, you know, worry about keying up the cylinder or rekeying it or cutting keys. True, there are a number of actual authorized dealers who do rekey and buy the machine, but overall, at least in my area, that's kind of what I see on the Multi-Lock. Oh, thanks, Nadia. That's why I opened that other browser. Dad blast it. That's what I was going to share on the Twitter. Forgot. Let's see, because, thank you, though. Anyway, go back. How does a, okay, Rune, how does a ASA twin key registration work? Looks like many lock sporters have access to ASA twin locks and keys. Yes, with ours, we just intercompany, have them sign a signature card and set up whoever they want. And obviously nobody around us has our sidebar, so, and we stamp all our keys. I personally have seen where we are called to rekey ASA that we did not put in. To remove their sidebar, and most of what we find is like the 126, which is the open registration. There are open registration sidebars that anybody can buy if you have a account with a distributor that sells sidebars and keys, and they come with a card, just kind of like Medico does. So that may be those, and I have seen a few videos where they have the sidebar number scratched off on it. So presumably it's just maybe other locksmiths sending them out or finding them and selling them to make money. I don't know. Are these? Yeah, you can go back and watch live streams after it's done. Absolutely. So you don't have to stay the whole time. We appreciate you staying, but like LPL, I've noticed Medico on a lot of banks in this area, and all of my banks are ASA because we have a guy that does the safes and the safe deposit boxes for banks, and he is an ASA dealer. And I feel like one day in the future, he has already come to tell me that worst case scenario, he wants to pass the contract for all of those on to me when he decides to totally give it up. I hadn't heard from him in years, so I don't know if that's still out there. But yes, a lot of the banks around here have ASA instead of Medeco. Would you recommend getting separate kits for Master and American, or a Master kit for both? Do not buy the American Padlock King kit. Absolutely. It's the worst freaking kit I think I've ever seen in my life. 4 small pins like that. It's ridiculous. It's the worst kit ever. I mean, somebody needs to make it. Somebody needs to smack American. Of course, they're Master now. But no, I have -1, like, because 0 is 1 or 1 is 0 or whatever. So I just write in Sharpie on my kit top for American numbers. But I don't. Okay, so I've got to hold for review here. Hold on, guys. We're gonna back up because I'm going separate. So yes, don't buy American. Just buy a Master kit. Nick, hey Jason, awesome work. Thanks. Never commented on YouTube. Charleston, South Carolina, pretty dang close to me. That's kind of in the South still. Nick, thanks for joining in. Brandon said something and he retracted it, so. Oh no. Brandon, okay. Hey, Brandon, there we go. I'm trying to catch up here. Do you charge for stamping keys? Unless they want like a ridiculous amount on there. D&Ds or numbers. Like, not really. For like number 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, not really. Only if they want like put PCL 853, then we'll charge 15 to 35-ish cents extra. I'm going to approve this message from Lock Guy. Let's see, show. Let's go to his link, open it in a new tab. Handy cut duplicating punch. That looks like a ridiculous crap. Don't buy that, please. Just 5-second look at it. No, don't do it. You might as well get wait, okay, I'll go back and look at it for a second. No, I'm not. No, don't buy that. Let's see. Master goes America 0 to 7. No, Master has. So what I have for that is my own custom kit, because we rekey a crap load of American, and it's not beautiful and it's not really secure by any means, but it did take a little bit. And what I do is as I'm keying up kit, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then some messy and the little parts and stuff. By no means is it complete, but this does give me the serrated bottom pins. And oh, sorry about that. And on the Master, hold on, there. So yeah, I just wrote in Sharpie there on the Master. Number is for American, and put 2, 3, 4, and 1. I don't know. Never had a problem using the Master kit, but I do like the serrated bottom pins, which is why I made this little kit out of some Purple Heart. Greetings, Mr. MDB74, greetings from Carrollton, Georgia. Another Southern friend down here. That is definitely Southern. And Fred Flintstoner, good to see you back up with the live stream. Yeah, I wasn't going to do it until this morning when I woke up. Master kit, King Street's replying to Purple Skull. Master kit's better, as Jason said. You can use an American kit or Master kit. American kit is 0 through 0. Master is 1. So yeah, y'all figure that out. And I think I caught up on all those messages. If I didn't, repost it, please. But American goes 1 through 8. Master goes 0 through 7 using the same pen sizes. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely use Master for American locks. But since correct me if I'm wrong, but the bottom pin refills for American, though, are not serrated, which is stupid. So that's why I carefully dump. And luckily, we rekey a crap load of American padlocks. So luckily, I I'm able to build a fairly substantial kit with old pins and then just pin up from it. It took a minute to get it built up, I will say that. So let's see, we are coming up on 11:50. Wow, we are almost only about 10 minutes left in this live stream, guys. I appreciate all you guys who have been here. I hope you've enjoyed this version of it. I know I really didn't do any work, but I figured just a chat live stream will be cool too. Andy Lawton, hey, when you key up SFIC cores, do you supply a control key to the customer? Always. They pay for it based on we charge them just for the cost of the same thing as it would be for a copy, not for a code cut key. Thrasher for life. Hello, Ricky Monhome. I've been practicing my picking. I think I'm ready for business. What advice would you give me for opening a day, 1 week, one business? Yeah, you know, that's not really how you should think about it. Just because you've done it for a little while doesn't mean that you are ready to attempt it in a business. You can dive in head first, but you know, it's entirely up to you. And there's a lot more than in for business than it's kind of late in the game for the live video to get into this topic, but it's kind of, that's not a great way to do it. You're going to get in more trouble on a job or mess up something and not be able to fix the situation if you don't have some type of backup. And that can be detrimental to future. So there are a number of factors involved with actually getting a business, doing it, advertising, insurance, issues that, oh, hold on just a sec. Hey, how are you? What could I help you with?
Need to see about getting 3 of those, mate.
Okay. Just to let you know, we are live right now, so you're not in camera though. 3?
Yes.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Okay, is that gonna do it for you?
That'll do it.
There's that. Okay, 729. Okay, there's a pen right there. This one. Alrighty, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, so where are we? Well, that's not good. Okay, guys, well, we are out of time, so I'm gonna have to stop now. Sorry, I got waylaid. Let me catch up on comments real quick. Can we call with questions? I have somebody threatened to call me. Had to pull out. Have you seen the new reset tool? No. Grate a bunch of brass in the new laptop. Yeah, I know, right? Any recommendations for training? No. I don't really know about training and all that. Besides YouTube. Official training, I don't know. And just going back on these last few comments. Ian and Decline. Everybody, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. Ian, Night Owl, King Street, Rage, everybody earlier for being here with me throughout these. Damn, dude. I have to finish it with damn, dude. Yeah, and it is coffee time. Go apprentice in a shop is the best training. Going back to that before I got interrupted. Apprenticeship, unfortunately, is, and it's hard to do. So I know, understand. I got lucky in this by kind of already knowing what I was doing and finding out that somebody needed help at the local locksmith shop. SharePoint key. Still need a t-shirt for that, right? But anyway, thanks again, everybody, for joining in. We appreciate, as always, y'all, commenting and being here. So thanks again. Again, this is not an every Saturday thing. This is just a random thing that I just decided to try this version. And hopefully, let me know, anybody else that's still here, as far as the views, this way. I guess maybe next time I'll try a different view, but this one works out for just the chats. So there you go. Everybody, thanks again for joining in, and we will catch you. I'm not at the end of the video. We will catch y'all next time. Pete, Ian, everybody, Thrasher, y'all all have a great weekend. Thanks again for joining in. Now I'm going to go get coffee, and I don't know, really. probably do mundane, boring stuff like finish sweeping. I never really did finish from, if you saw my Happy Friday video, I never really did finish up front and put everything back like it was supposed to be. So got to do that. And yeah. All right. Catch y'all next video. Oh, I need to go over there to stop it.